Hey yo, this is your good friend Josiah. Welcome to my Lutheran Connections online TV, where we bring you the best in education, information, and entertainment. Don't touch your dial.
Well, welcome everybody. Back to my Lutheran Connection talk show. We are back here, and we hope that you all are having a wonderful Palm Sunday as Jesus embark on this journey of the Holy Week. And we're gonna see all through this week he will be tested and also kind of going on a cross for our redemption. So we want to say welcome to the show. And today again, we're going to be looking at all things Lutheran, and we are hoping to host the administrator of Phoebe Hospital, Mr. Steven Culver. He's going to be on the show today. But before we go further, I'm here with my team. Um, going to check in quickly and see how everybody doing before we go any further. So we're gonna check in with Brother Woody. How you doing out there in Georgia? And I also see that you were celebrating your daughter's birthday. So you got teenagers at your house now, my man. What's going on?
Yeah, thank you so much, Elijah. Yeah, speaking of daughter's birthday, I also want to say happy belated birthday to the Reverend Moses Goba. He celebrated his birthday yesterday as well. Um, yeah, not not even a teenager, but she's more than a teenager now.
A college student, right?
Yeah, she turned 21 yesterday.
Yeah.
There is a photo. Probably we can try to show that out later. Uh, that was back then, and couple we visited Bannersville Parish, and
Hmm.
so for each time I see that picture, I think of couple Duckers and the rest of the crew back home in Liberia. So
Yeah.
yeah, I took Fit along, and yeah, so really how you make the girl look making her
Yeah.
wearing lapa suit. But anyway, that all reminds me of the group. But yeah,
Yeah.
Georgia is doing fine. I think Georgia now we are having this conflict in temperature as we go towards spring. Our temperature just keep changing. One day it's gonna be very cold, and we're gonna go 2, 3, 4 days with so much heat. Then it flips again to cool. So maybe until summer, but for now, that's how Georgia is. Is the weather is not stable as the LEC light.
Tell
But
me about it. I can tell anybody like you can't trust like we in Minnesota here. You can't trust Minnesota weather.
you
Like
know you can.
we get 75 degrees, the next day we below zero.
Yeah, yeah, man.
So we can see that our guest is already in the studio.
I
He's in
guess
the
it's the
background.
background. Yeah.
Yeah, but we're gonna bring him on shortly. However, Dr. Toto, are you there? We want to check in with Dr. Toto quickly here from Pittsburgh. Dr. Toto, are you there?
Yeah, so we just got going to be back on the show again. Greet our viewer out there in Liberia and in the diaspora. And let me say happy Palm Sunday as we get prepared to enter the Holy Week. A lot of things I've been happy there, but we can go the glory. Tell my bereavement, we we give God the glory or to give God the comfort. You know, on my
All right.
on my end here, whether what I would ever say the spring, I don't know whether we're in spring or in fall, had a course on there. But okay, family wise we're doing good and we're going to be back on the show for to discuss some good issue today, good topics.
Thank you, Dr. Toto. We'll see couple are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not seeing you. We're just seeing your background. But we want to say welcome to the show, couple. How you doing over there in Manitoba?
And the last one. Um, good weather today. Um, everything's okay. Family is okay.
All right.
Couple is not really okay, but she's grateful. She's grateful.
Couple is not ready.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. I I
yeah,
I I
couple
I
is
I feel
grateful.
I feel you. I feel you. We hope that couple can be okay soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So from my end in Minnesota,
I
we're
was
doing.
better. As I will today.
What thing?
Yeah, that's why.
I live today. That pass over.
Para, baby, you ready? Para todo young John ready, eh? Okay.
Couple.
I just try to echo what they say that when you're talking
Uh,
here, true. You're talking to the other hour.
I didn't want to talk about it. Oh.
I have business.
What doubt? Happy Palm Sunday, I really do.
You remember? You ever remember that I was married to the man from the southeast? You know how they get
I
operate on
just
that
said,
end.
yes, sir.
You know how they get operate on that end.
You had a gather money in jail, put out plenty of black, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, but Minnesota, we're doing okay here. Weather is pretty cool today. You can wear the short pants and go outside today, but again, you can predict Minnesota's weather.
Mm-mm.
So we just take it one day at a time. So family wise, everybody doing good as well. So at this juncture, we're gonna bring in our guest, our senior brother. We are hosting one of our senior brothers from the Lutheran Church in Liberia. He's no other person but Mr. Steven Zota Kova Jr.
Yes.
During those days when you
Oh,
talk about the NLYF, if you see the leg of Steven Koffa, the leg of Dala Kokwea, Emil Welly,
Elijah,
you
Elijah,
know,
if you don't
yeah.
see that crew, it means that the convention has not started yet.
Oh
That
no.
Stephen,
When
that
you know
the
The
preacher, that
Pope, the Pope, the whole group. I don't know. I
whole
haven't
crew, you
seen the
gotta see
Pope.
that crew.
I haven't seen the Pope for a long time. Victor Bestman, he was the Pope. Yeah, but we want to say welcome to your brother Stephen Cover. Let's just check in with you very quickly. Welcome to the show. Before we dive into issues at Phoebe and giving us an update, we just want to check in with you, Brett, very quickly. How you doing? We know you just celebrated your birthday, so maybe you want to tell us how you celebrated that and what does that mean for you today, and then how your family and everything else. You're
Black
muted,
mama.
so you can go ahead and unmute yourself. And
Okay,
awesome.
thank you, Elijah. Thank you, folks, for the invitation to be a part of this very important show. Am I audible?
You
Yeah,
are.
oh well.
Oh, thank you very much. Good, good. That's good soundtrack. And first, greetings from humid Liberia. I was in Monrovia today, and the sun was blazing all day, and I'm back in Phoebe this evening, and it's good to be here. And I see Dr. Tutu, I see Kopo, I see Willie and Elijah. It reminds me of yesteryears, man. I can imagine. And I mean, you tried making me reminisce some of the times we were at a youth camp and youth convention and some of the things we did. But I say that those are all history now. You make up part of this very good family that Lutheran Church in Liberia. However, my birthday was on Friday and it was a quiet day. That's one of the first time I actually celebrated my birthday outside Monrovia. I
did you say
remember
quiet?
my daughter called me and said, "Daddy, where are you spending your birthday?" I said, "I'll be up in Phoebe." She said, "What? Really? This is the first time they making never be out of Monrovia a horse on your birthday." I said, "Well, when duty calls, we
You got
got
to
to obey
obey.
it.
Oh,
More is
okay.
Friday.
Yeah.
I've come for a purpose. Let I mean family first though, but God has provided this opportunity for me to serve the church. Let me take advantage of that time and deliver what I'm supposed to deliver. Birthday will come every but another birthday will come. So it was fun up here in Phoebe and I had an exciting time with the colleagues around here. We just had a nice time together. Family is good. The kids are doing pretty well. They are up on our side. I mean, they're doing pretty well. I'm good. And I'm grateful to God for the opportunity and for the life.
But see, brother, just a quick point of correction to serve the church again. Let the record reflect again.
That the record reflect that.
Yes, really, you got me on this one to serve the church again.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
I will always serve the church because the church is my heartbeat, and because
That's sweet to,
all my
to,
life has
to
been a Lutheran
serve.
church. All my life has been with Lutheran church. All.
Oh,
So it's now
Yes.
time for me to give what the Lutheran church has built me, has
Yeah.
given me. So
Yeah.
let me give by what I have back to the church.
Thank you so much, senior brother, and we appreciate the fact that you're able to spare some time. By this time, you should be getting ready to go to bed, but at least you're making that sacrifice to get on here today and just provide some information to our people. We have people, regular watcher of the show. They are all on here, and we before we can get into the deep, we're just going to start off. Now that you already told us about how you celebrated your birthday, we want to say happy birthday to you, and we hope that God grant you many more wonderful years to come. And I know that you just are gonna kick off the questioning, and the round of questions gonna be around Phoebe and some things concerning Lutheran. So we're gonna be picking your brain today, so you can answer as so you can answer as you wish to. Yeah, if you want to plead the fifth, you can plead the fifth, and we're not gonna hold you responsible.
A priesthood of all believers. We are Lutherans.
Okay, here you go. So, to start off with, senior brother, you just got the Phoebe, as the newly hired administrator, and there'll be a lot of noise around Phoebe. Can you tell us exactly what's the current status of Phoebe now, as it relates to all of the noise that has been happening, coming from the employees at Phoebe?
Yeah, thank you. Before I tell you the status of Phoebe as at now, I like to go back to what happened when I just got in the system.
Mhm.
And I took assignment as per my letter February 2nd. There has been a couple of challenges on Phoebe compound. One of the most important one is accommodation was an issue. So I was when I came first, I was commuting between Banga and Phoebe because until a structure was identified and I had to move in temporarily until the one identified for me permanently will be renovated, and which is one of the serious challenges we have on Phoebe compound. And I got in at a time where employees were disenchanted on the condition of workplace. One it ranged from interpersonal relationship to financial management and to sanitation and workplace environment. You know, I come from a different background where work-life balance has to be considered in as much as you are basic, I mean, very busy with providing services. There are those who provide the services need some consideration, some concern. So you got to balance the two. As you provide a service, provide care for those who provide the services as well. There was a complaint from the Employee Association. There was a 14 count resolution. And those resolution, the condition upon them was that if those resolutions are not settled in a timely manner, there are three senior personnel of the institution should be transferred or otherwise removed. And that was the medical director or the chief executive officer, who is Dr. Mini Sankaolo Ricks, and then the IT administrator who is actually the HR manager, Jonathan Pugh, and then the assistant HR who was acting as HR in the person of Peter Belawu. So the employer association decided that these three persons be removed from the system. And what were the basis for this? I mean, for this decision on their part? One, the complaint of a bad work habit, poor financial management, payroll, personnel recruitment, and management of staff. I mean, of course, across everything. And so, being a new person, I had to be in the first meeting to observe that discussion. And that discussion went on well, and I got to know exactly to understand the dynamics on the ground. So with that, we got involved and started to come and be based in Phoebe to understand what was happening. And my first approach was to build a relationship with the leadership of the Phoebe Employee Association and then start from there. And before I meet the larger body, there was a decision to go on a go slow, and I just asked, can I just have the word with the leadership? Because I come from, as Willie said, coming back to serve the church. I started in the church with a peace building side, the section, trauma healing reconciliation, peace building, and there I grew up in managing and dealing with conflictual issues. So I have that experience in, at least in mediation and negotiation. So I decided to adapt that approach in seeing how we go about it. So I met the employee association leadership and we had a very nice conversation, and then went to meet the larger group. That the first thing you wanted was the change of the 3 persons. Now these guys were acting. So now the hospital has a new administrator. Can you now give me the opportunity to deliver on what your concerns are? Because most of the concerns were actually administrative and managerial. The one that was behavioral, I didn't have control on that, because the interpersonal relationship is left with those persons of concern. But for the job place, I think I could work better with them in terms of managing those issues. We were basically administrative and managerial. Since I assumed authority, I felt I could easily handle that, which I felt and I still feel I can handle along with the team on ground. And so that went on, and that meeting was held. Unfortunately, we had the presence of the civil service director, our Lutheran brother, Dr. Josiah Jokai. He came and explained that for the employee association, if there are grievances, there are channels. The civil service agency has standing orders and rules. So channel your grievances through that entity. Once it's HR related, it was clear. HR related issue, civil service will handle it. When it comes to the service provision, Ministry of Health can handle the quality of services at the hospital. But unfortunately, after that meeting, which ended very successful, the next day was a whole go slow thing. It was a different thing altogether. So that led to another whole scenario until the director felt disrespected because of that. But however, that interpretation from other uncles. And so 7 persons were suspended. And that letter came to me that this guy was suspended, and I had to act as an administrator proper. So I did communicate with all 7 persons and attach this letter from civil service agency as a reason or basis for my letter to them. And they were suspended from 1 month for pay. However, there was some consideration. The president got involved through the Ministry of State. And so the minister came the day after and tried to make some resolution for the staff to return. And they did return to work after the minister left and gave them a week to respond. And some effort has been made, and that's what we are going to effect immediately. So we managed to meet the staff association or the employee association personally, and we've made some significant breakthrough. I can tell you for sure now, relationship on the compound is cordial. The staff are back to work. Sanitation was another issue on the ground. We've ensured that we got a huge consignment of cleaning materials, though the hospital setting cleaning materials is quite different from household. So that's a shortcoming for us at Phebe. So we're now exploring opportunity where we can get good cleaning materials that are meant for hospitals, because that's a challenge in Liberia. So it's cost intensive. So we are going through that to identify cleaning materials for hospitals so that the sanitation can be okay. What we intend to do is that if I can use a wash facility in the hospital, the patient will not use it. So we want a patient-centered approach, and that's what we are embarked upon now. So my first engagement was with the housekeeper, and I told them, you guys are the most important persons in the hospital, because if the hospital is not clean, nobody comes here. We have our second engagement tomorrow at 9 o'clock. The housekeepers, these are people who are responsible for cleaning the hospital, the laundry, the washrooms, the wards, the floor. They are responsible. So these guys are key, and I take them to a high esteem, because in a health setting, infection prevention and control is key. Let me be able to eat in a hospital and not be running away from the hospital because it shouldn't be dirty. And it is zero tolerance to a bad sanitary condition for me in the hospital. So that's my first issue to tackle in this hospital, internally and externally. Phoebe compound will come later on, but the hospital is key. So that I can use a bathroom where a patient will feel free to use a bathroom. So I will approach that all bathrooms should be
Seems like
eh,
Berkova is okay.
sorry, I'm hotspotting my phone to the computer, so that's why I got a call coming in from a colleague, so that's why it interrupted.
Oh, okay.
So I had to abort it.
All right.
So and that's why I finally want to make sure we have a Starlink here that we can use, so we can have this situation. So that's why we've come in with a lot of plans for the hospital. So
Thank
basically,
you.
that's what has happened, and the hospital is now really up to the task. For
Um,
financial matter, we've launched a personnel audit, which has started. It's been started by the internal audit unit in the hospital. So those ones are under control.
Thank you very much, CM brother, for the update. And I think you guys are proceeding in the rightful direction because the pictures that came out of Phoebe did not represent a health institution. The videos, they were deplorable, they were disgraceful, they were shameful to be coming from where people are going to seek medication or seek treatment, and then it's looking so bad like that, like you going to sickness to be healed. That's how I can interpret those videos that came out of Phoebe. But I'm glad that you're making those moves. Like when you started up, you talk about accommodation that kind of ring a little bit of a that was a little bit shocking to me because I know that Phoebe, the else here has they have a lot of houses on that compound, where employees of the hospital can reside while they are serving the hospital. And back there, the compound, I know like some of those houses are deplorable. So just tell me about maybe what plans do you guys have for those houses, and who has the complete authority in the management of the houses on Phoebe compound?
First, I will begin with the last question you asked.
Hmm.
For the management of the infrastructure on this compound, it's the Lutheran Church in Liberia.
Okay.
So, as an administrator for the hospital, it falls under my jurisdiction. So I manage that. Because of that, because of my role, I've launched a complete search. I mean, a task for assets inventory, especially for infrastructure. I would like to know all of the structures on the compound of Phoebe, who are the occupants, and what are the conditions for each structure. That's the first step, the first phase. The second phase would be a thorough assessment of each structure. What are the needs in terms of renovation? What are needed to be done? When that has come up, we have a cost analysis of what it will require also repair on one structure. Then we, of course, we go about and see how we go about it. Take for a typical example, the house that have been identified for me as administrator is completely in a ruin. It's devastating. I'm housing in one of the structures that was being occupied by site civil, the ophthalmologist who was here, and it was renovated by site civil. It's a small structure that I'm using temporarily until the structure that are being assigned, I mean earmarked for my resident, can be renovated. And so that is in place. All of the structures here are under the jurisdiction of the Lutheran Church in Liberia, of Phoebe Hospital and School of Nursing. So they are property of the Lutheran Church in Liberia. So when that access inventory come, I will get it on Monday because I launched that since last week. When it comes out, I'll know exactly who are in those structures and who is required to be in a structure and is not in. Because now we have the Jungle Electrical Power, JEP, that is providing electricity to the compound. So individual residents, they are responsible for their own electricity. So like the apartment I'm in, I pay for electricity here because I use the electricity, so I should be responsible for it. It's not Phoebe I'm paying for it. Phoebe insured as a meter attached to all the houses. So if you are in there, you pay for power. Because some people come with their head level appliances, so you can't add that to the hospital expenses. No. You are responsible to shoulder your cost for electricity. You are giving a housing, a furnished structure. That this one is furnished, bed and chairs and other things. I just brought in some stuff, but indeed, you got a residence for you. So why don't you maintain it in terms of power?
Thank you, CM brother. I will now turn over to Dr. Toto to ask to continue the round of questioning.
Yeah, thank you, Elijah. Also, Steve, welcome again. It's been a long time since we either out there.
Yeah, same with left Bella.
Yeah, but it's good. You know, I have some question, Lando, but just listen to you. I gotta switch my question. You know, when it comes to the Lutheran Church infrastructure, it's very concerning. Listen to why you talking about Phoebe Hospital. Even in my own time to see the Lutheran nation falling apart. When I was in Liberia recently, the old boys, those was, especially the old boys dormitory, is falling apart. And the horse that the late uh, Mr. Clayton used to be as a teacher, grass growing in that horse, and that's a Lutheran property on the Lutheran nation. It kind of saddened my heart, to see those infrastructure falling apart. Some time ago, when Bishop Pablo took over, he said that he was doing asset verification, also about the Lutheran asset. I don't know how far I go, but you down to Phoebe Hospital, you see the poor infrastructure of the hospital, infrastructure of the compound. Why can you tell me as a field leadership of Lutheran Church in Liberia?
I will not attribute the maintenance of infrastructure to a field leadership. No. People are given responsibilities to manage what is within their confine. And so, in other words, I will not say it's a field leadership. It may be poor governance, but poor governance may not be equivalent to field leadership. No. And we need to monitor people who give them tasks to do. And I can give you the assurance I'm on an obligation to deliver to the church what I've been asked for. Because I have a personal reputation to protect, I have a church to protect, and I have a God to serve. And with that commitment, I have all right to ensure, and I must ensure that the needful things are done and done rightly and expeditiously. So I will not attribute failure of people to do what they're supposed to do to a failed leadership. I'll say no. The leadership has her own mandate and her own role and may have dedicated responsibility to people. It's that leadership responsibility to follow up. And when people are asked to follow up and they don't do it, they don't do that, then indeed we find lapses in operation.
Yeah,
And so we've come with that mindset to erase that concept of laissez-faire. I come from a Lutheran church. I live all my life in a Lutheran church. To see Phoebe the way it is now, the same way you feel is how I feel. To have a horse that somebody left in 2 years to be damaged like that, it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable, my brothers. It is unacceptable with me. So I can never allow that to happen as long as I stay in Phoebe.
that's good.
These structures, look, our compound is a unique place and a beautiful place. How do we attract people to come? There are a lot of volunteers in the diaspora that want to come and serve Phoebe. The least we can give them is accommodation. If we cannot afford accommodation, then we know where. And that's why I want to fight. If a horse can be renovated and used as a guest horse, whatever fund is generated to repair 1 or 2 horses, in a time I will be here. We'll do that gradually because the church does not have the funding, the hospital does not have the funding to do that. So gradually we move from one horse to another, so that if we have volunteer doctors in America who want to come and say, Phoebe cannot accommodate them. We should be, that's the least they will expect from Phoebe. Do you have accommodation for volunteer doctors? If a doctor come to Phoebe and stay here for 6 months, for example, 3 to 6 months, and live on this compound, and live here and live freely, and go to the hospital and perform surgery or consultation, when that doctor goes back, they carry the information, oh, Phoebe is a nice place to go. Can we send another one to come? We have no cost attached to them coming here. All we can provide accommodation. It's a help to our health care delivery system at Phoebe. And that's what I as administrator, have come with to work with a team to do that.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. That's a very good answer. I like the passion and the determination in your voice. It shows that you are there to a very good start. And one of the things you made in your comment about financial management also too. When I was the vice president for Aliyah, when the seafood were going through some financial problem, and we're trying to raise some money for Phoebe Hospital, and the ELCA women win. We're trying to go through to lobby some money, and we're on a conference call, and they took up plain blender. They were not comfortable raising money and sending to the Phoebe Hospital at that time because mismanagement. So now you the new administrator now, as here that you come to the post of financial management policy in place. What are some of that policy that are being transparent for donor to see and have more comfortable that comfortable to have at least uh, the policy that will be more transparent, that they will see, they say yes, that they will see some transparency, that are a little more comfortable to put our money in Phoebe Hospital. What are some of the policy initiatives you're going to put in place?
The first thing I want to say to you, thank you for that question. And what we have already initiated that was here, that want to ensure that is in compliance, is that we have several levels of approvals. And there will not be any one-man show here at Phoebe. It has to be a senior management team decision on any expenditure, especially when you use expenditure. So we all have to decide on what our priorities are. Once we decide what the priorities are, all expenditure on our priorities against those priorities is something that senior management will agree. It's not going to be one person writing and approving. So what we set in place is that, for me, I come from a different work environment. People say, oh, you come from an NGO, so you will not understand government. I worked 13 years with UNICEF, Liberia Country Office.
Want do small thing and they say you come from
And for sure, I work directly with government Liberia, especially Ministry of Health. So there's nothing I don't know about government. So it puts me in a better position, and I don't see it as a mistake for selecting me to come and serve Phoebe, the church. It's not a mistake. It's an opportunity for me, and I say it was not a mistake because the delivery have to be met. Deliverables have to be met. And for as you're saying, the financial management, the first thing we're going to launch an audit. An audit to know exactly what it is like. There was some other recommendation from the past 3, 4, 5 years that I've inherited. A couple of things I've inherited, and I'm inheriting it, and I'm working on them gradually, or in terms of mitigating them one by one. So that's the purpose. Because if you got audit recommendation, you don't add on it, the next audit is going to be piling up. So there were other recommendations that are being handled, and that my focus, because I don't want to be somewhere that when I leave tomorrow, somebody else come and say, "Oh, this guy got a lot of things on a book. He didn't do this." No, I don't want to be that person. So my predecessor did some things. There are some other recommendations that they didn't settle. I'm on them. Take for example, for all approval of procurement also, wherever the request is originated from, I made sure that that department head has cleared that request. If that department head clear that request, it comes to another level. When it comes to me, and I'm gonna ask the department head, are you aware of this thing? Did you clear this thing? Yes. Pam, I sign off on it. Because people just come and request from for example, the maintenance shop. They come, they want one buy one boot. They come to me with a sign and say, no, that's not how it goes. That's not how it works. Go to your department head and get clearance from him. Because he's accountable to me as an immediate supervisor. You should report to him. Whatever you identify, report to him. Let him come to me and tell me, Chief, we need this one, or Steve, we need this one. And you give me all reasons why you need it. Take for example, there's a boss. You got two bosses here. One was supplied by was procured by Global Health Ministry. That boss is now in Monrovia on repair. The bigger one is here. It's been down since they took that boss to Monrovia. And came back. The mechanic said it's going to take them another 2-3 years to fix. In less than 2 months, the boss is broken down. What are the problems that led to this? So that's my approach. I'm going to investigate where the boss went, what was the job completion record, and what it means. Because now they're using pickup and a jeep to transport. That is challenge we have in Phoebe now, transporting nurses who are commuting. So that's my appeal that I will sound out. One of the most important appeal I can sound out is transportation for our nurses.
Thank you.
What we have is he has outlived its usefulness. He have over more than 15 years. No, you can't do that. You risk people's life.
Uh, Elijah,
So
back
those
to
are
you.
those, those are
Manager.
measures we have set in place so that we got rank and level of approval for every request, procurement and financial.
Elijah, you're too low. Take it.
Sorry, my microphone was up. See, brother, as you was talking, when you come from a very agile environment, like working with UNICEF and other NGOs that are very agile and there are a lot of systems in place that you have to live up to, and then getting into the environment and people like couple say when you want to make some hard changes, people come out to make these kind of statements to distract you from what you want to do because they want you to go as business as usual,
As usual.
and you have to put your feet on the ground because you know exactly what change means, and it comes with pain, and people are not used to adapting to change so easily, especially in our Liberian society. So as you are talking, I know that you have some really good plans, but one thing I would say is that you have to, when you make that plan, you got to keep your feet or your foot on that gas and keep pushing it because people will come with a lot of distraction to sway you away from what you want to do. I just wanted to say that, but I also talk couple continue with a round of questioning.
Let me
Okay,
just
thank
let me
you,
sorry,
Elijah.
let me just come up to that point, right? What you just said.
Mhm,
Change is difficult to accept when it comes.
mhm, mhm.
But for where I come from, there are several level of engagement. If you want to make a change or bring about a change, you need to get a buy-in.
Mhm.
And that means if I want to make a change, I go and sell it up and say, this is what no the staff can have meetings. And I go there and say, these are things we want to do. If there's any question, if you got something to suggest, my office is open for suggestion. Come, let's discuss it together. Then you get a buy-in. And so time to implement it, I mean, you will still in. I mean, trauma healing has helped me. Oh.
I know, right? Continue, couple.
Thank you, Elijah. Thank you, Steve. Once again, want to say you are welcome. I can see how videos you are when it comes to your work at Phoebe. I just want to congratulate you and tell you thank you so much. There's a good thing on your plate for all what you have explained. They are all good. Or you need to work as a team. Like you said, you got to get it in-house because once you don't have them, it will be the same people who will be like, but what he won't prove. He just kind of won't be changing everything. You know, the Liberian mentality. That's who we are. So I don't know. I would say you get our blessing from Maluchu connection because we all want to see, I want to see something good when it
Yeah.
comes to anything that has to do with nurturing. We want it to be good.
Hmm.
So yeah, you are on a good footing. We just want to like admonish you, continue. May God give you the strength. May God carry you through as you perform your duty at Phoebe. When you were talking, you're talking about 14 counts that the employees recommended, that you met there or they recommended. And there was a channel through the CSA. So I don't know whether have they channeled our grievances now through the CSA when it comes to
Oh my God, I wonder what happened to our sister
Okay, I
Popo.
think I got a question. The 14 count resolution from the Employer Association of Phoebe, whether they ever channel it through the civil service, the answer is no. They have not channeled their grievances through the CSA. However, the Minister of Health came and intervened after CSA director left, and they reported to work. And reporting to work meant that they were going to have a redress for their concerns. And the concerns are being addressed gradually because I've informed them that most of their concerns are basically administrative. Take for example, if there are two payrolls, yes, indeed there are two payrolls at Phoebe. There's one payroll that our Ministry of Health seconded staff, and that payroll is directly paid through Ministry of Health. There's another payroll that is being done by Phoebe. So that payroll is also paid by government of Liberia through CSA, and that's government of Phoebe allotment that they receive from the government. So all employees of Phoebe are paid by the government of Liberia. So the two payrolls is that Phoebe has one payroll, Ministry of Health seconded staff is on one payroll, but it's the same GOL that pays everybody. So what we are going to be advocating now, what we try to advocate now is to be able to move the Phoebe payroll to the government MOH payroll so that everyone, because there are some staff on Phoebe payroll who are paid less. That's what I requested for the entire employee roster and the payroll breakdown to see exactly what it is so we can make that case. That case already presented to the Deputy Minister of Administration. So we're just going to make a follow-up to build it up so that we can have one payroll instead of having two with discrepancy in the two payrolls, which is actually an issue. And civil service will be engaged to help us to mitigating that aspect of it.
oh, sorry, I went off. I had a call. I interrupted my whole something. Actually,
Yeah,
I did not get
you
the
were asking where the employees ever
submitted the 14
gave
count
or
to
submitted
the
grievances to
CSA.
CSA,
Yeah.
and I was saying no, they did not, they have not. I don't know when they will, but I think is their
So
concern is basically a mindset that the three-star should be removed, and the board has said there are two positions at Phoebe that are recruited and vetted. That's the medical director, the chief executive officer of Phoebe, and the administrator. These two positions are basically employed by the board of trustees of Phoebe, which is represented by the government, the Lutheran, the Methodist, the Episcopal, and then the community. The government has 4 persons as representative on our board, so they are on our board. So those two positions, they can't just let people off it like that because they are vetted upon. But
so
all other
even
positions,
even when they are not performing,
when they're not performing, there must be a recommendation from the board or to the board.
okay. Yes,
The board
because
acts the board acts on recommendation. So the board is set up an investigation committee for this situation at Phoebe.
okay.
That committee is supposed to report to the board, and the board will act on based on what the committee submits to the board. The board will act. And allegation must be accompanied by facts. So the board is requesting a comprehensive investigation report from our committee. But from us as Phebe, we submitted a situational report of what Phebe is, what we have done so far to the board.
Why you met there and what you have done for why you met there, right?
Yes. What we have
Okay.
done so far. We submitted
Okay.
that situation report.
Okay, so there were a lot of things that you listed, the issue of accommodation, the issue of okay, like you said, the interperson relationship is there for somebody habit if you decide to change it or not. But I think there's something we call customer service. Once you're in a public sector or even in a private sector, you should know customer service. So if even you have your personal relationship or you don't know how to talk to people, it is an issue. We cannot say that's the main own way of talking to people. You gotta learn how to talk to people when you're in a public sector or in a private sector. The issue of customer service, you must know it because you are interacting with people. So you listed all of these things. You talk about financial management, you talk about sanitation. So all what you listed are these things that fall under the administrative arm of Phoebe or it falls under the medical director arm of Phoebe.
All non-medical activities are under the office or administration. However, medical relies on the overall operation of the hospital. And that arm is the admin that supports. So the medical and the administration are partners. And that's what I told them. I told them at the interview. You can't divorce administration from medical. Because everything that is supposed to be in the hospital comes through administration. Supplies, logistics, all fall under administration. And they are meant to support the medical works. So for answer to your question, all those functions or roles are being shoulded by the administration.
Yeah, let me tell you a follow what draws me to that question is if you would say all of these functions it falls under the administrative arm and the medical portion, they are all working intertwined with then there was all of these things outstanding. And those who are acting, they did not do nothing about it, right? Because you talk about the audit, there was some audit findings that your predecessor did not even look at. And he was one of those that the people even said they should get rid of. So if all of these things are problems that have been listed that you met there, then definitely there is an issue or there are issues that they have. There was some problem during their training or during their administration that they did not look into. So because of that, is the committee taking all of those things into consideration while they're going through that investigation?
And I must admit, yes, indeed, and in fact, there have been some action taken. The first action is that I don't want to say, but the first action was that the Ministry of Health recalled the then IT administrator and HR manager at the Ministry of Health for reassignment. The county health team, based on reshuffle within the county health system, transferred and appointed the HR assistant to Bong and called appointed the transferred the Bong HR to Phebe. So those were immediate actions that have been taken that were taken and should be acted upon as I speak to you.
Okay.
So it means some actions have been taken considering the concerns of the employer association.
Okay.
The purpose is to maintain stability at Phoebe and while we have a continuity of effective service delivery. We don't want our services compromised or jeopardized because of
The
individuals.
individuals, yeah. Okay. Elijah, back to you.
Elijah said, well, they should take over.
Waiting.
Yeah, Elijah had to step away quickly. Sam, brother, thank you very much again for joining us and happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
I for one,
I would even
your
I would
appointment
even
with
wear
Phoebe,
this button.
it wasn't a strange. Yeah, yeah, appointment with Phoebe. I mean, it wasn't surprised at all. It wasn't surprising, and I think it's long overdue. We needed um someone like you to step there and make sure that things are put into place. And I'm very much glad that you got the ground running with accountability, the issue of assessment, making sure that what you're going to be taking care, taking over, you know, and not everything, that is handed to you, and you're just going to leave it and go business as usual. You see, when these things are done, those on the ground know that, there's a new sheriff in town. But if someone just, you know, apparently some people also thought that, okay, the man he based in Monrovia, so he'll be in Monrovia all the time. We're gonna be running the show here. No. So the fact that you can even spend your birthday at Phoebe, I mean, they should know that, there's a new ground commander. Again, it's not surprising. Um, the likes of all of you, Abel, Lewelly, um, uh, uh, Jokai, same thing. It was surprised that, when you always were appointed, we knew that there will be change. And now we can also see at Lutheran University with Abel Lewelly. Um, Having said that, I want to ask this question. For me, I really don't have much question because the only thing for me I'm looking at, to be honest, I know that a lot of good is gonna come up from you. I'm only looking at the critical side. Yeah. So I know that I know you personally, like a lot of people. I know when it comes to, you know, friendship and being an administrator, I tasted that a little bit from the choir. Um, he meant business and said, look, you get out. Yeah, even even as a junior brother, he said, get out, and you meant it. So I know that you're gonna make sure that things are in place at Phoebe. My question is, I know you spoke of the sanitary condition at Phoebe. You said that's your top priority. But if you are naming like 5 priorities right now at Phoebe, what would be those 5 top priorities, and how will your team, your leadership team as an administrator, how are you going to go about approaching them?
Priority number one is sanitation. We have a bad sanitary condition on the compound.
A lot of people
Poor
don't
sewer
know.
system. The sewer system is very poor here. We have to have a missionary from Global Health Ministry to come and look at it. That is very paramount, it's key, and that my first approach addressing the issue of sanitation. And that comes from in interior of the hospital to the exterior. I mean, the whole compound. I want you to come to Phoebe and experience life. What is life? Life is having an environment where you can be secure. The place is dark. We need clean environment. That's one. The second is basically hospital supplies. Because when I say sanitation, it inculcate a lot. Supply, employees, wherever it is. And the second most important priority, I would say, is transportation for employees. It's a serious challenge. To have people sitting in the back of pickup to commute when the bus is down at this time is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. Why you want to have a bus that will stay here 15 years? So
I know.
sanitation, I mean, I would drive a car for 4 years and get rid of it. Myself. The thing about it is that if you don't own something, you will not manage it well. So that's it, transportation. And that's my greatest appeal. If I do, I'm going to be on the ground developing proposal because I'm here also as a resource mobilizer. So I'll be developing some concept. No, we can discuss it in senior management team meeting and sell it off for support the hospital. I've not just come to just monitor how money is spent and how things are procured. is also to resource mobilize. That's one of my strengths. So I come to the system with that mindset. Not to just be here to receive. No, let me go for it. So that's what I'm here. And that's why I say the church did not make mistake. The board did not make mistake to have me come here. I've been the best for Phoebe, and I can show the bishop of the church and our entire Lutheran family and the government and people of Liberia and the people of the county that I'm here to work together. So those are two priorities: sanitation. Then we have the transportation. Luckily for us, we have a cost in electricity because we have a solar system here that feeds the hospital exclusively. We have a 90,000 kilowatt solar system that have been upgraded and helping the hospital. We have a challenge because sometimes people don't make use of electricity. You go in the hospital, you leave the air conditioner on, you go home and not using it. That's a waste of power source.
No.
So that's why when Willie said, "I know you," and that's what I'm saying. I will visit the hospital in the night. Think I'm on the compound to ensure that people are there and we can manage the little we have. We're able to save $800 last month. In fact, the last 4 weeks ago on electricity because of the solar power. Because of the solar power, we save $800. If you multiply that by 12 months, you know how much is that? 800 times 12 months. That's a huge saving that can go towards something else.
Yeah.
So that's why we are
It
here
can
to be able
renovate
to.
one of the deplorable apartments.
I didn't want to say it, but that's what I'm saying. If you come
Exactly.
here, don't come here and be looking for a place to sleep on Phoebe
Yeah.
No, going
compound.
Phoebe was so going Phoebe
No.
going to.
You
Yeah.
know,
Sam, brother.
somebody,
Oh, Weddy.
yeah,
Go ahead, Weddy.
yeah.
So
So,
that's two. That's two. The third,
mhm,
the third I would say is that the interior hospital we need some equipment, some especially some bed linings for beds, bed
Oh,
sheet for
bad
bed. We need
shits.
bed
Okay.
linings. If we can get bed
Mhm.
linings, that's fine. Because I talk about sanitation and cleaning materials, hospital cleaning material for school. And what I've come up with is that we can have a perfect uniform for our housekeepers. Let them be identified. And you know what make what people like to be a priest. Let's get to do, for example, the month of March. This April, not March, because March is going. April. We watch all of them and say, okay, this person is the housekeeper for the month of April. You found one t-shirt, Phoebe t-shirt, give to the guy, do a certificate, put a picture there, and put it in the hospital. That person go with that thing at whom and say yes. That's what we do. That's a form of appraisal. Appreciate people for what they do. The little they do, appreciate them. Those are initiatives we've come with from where we come from. Let me play lively. I mean,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think Phoebe is very tense. I think Phoebe is very tense, and I like the approach to make Phoebe, work very work friendly. Because when you're leaving from your house to go to work, you should not be thinking that you're going to a battlefield. You should be going to work very excited because you know you're gonna go
Yes.
see people who will welcome you, people who will have conversation with you, but not worry that when I see the administrator today, he would threaten me of my job, that I'll get fired. And because I didn't do that, I will get fired. And I see that in so many administrators in Liberia. Like people go to work, administrators are not approachable. They make themselves so inaccessible, and they just make some harsh decision that has like a negative effect on the institution. So I really like that approach from your end.
I told
Sure,
the
absolutely.
staff in the media, I say, besides being an administrator, I'm a counselor. If you trust me with your personal thing, we can talk about it. If you want it confidential, we can have a side discussion. Two of us we can have a discussion. If you want something open, tell me this is not private, it's open. We go open. But I will
Mhm.
not tolerate gossip because I will expose you. And that what
Thank
got
you.
you why it is.
Exactly.
That what got you why it is today. The
Yeah.
gossip.
Yeah.
And I said, frankly,
Mm-hmm.
don't bring gossip. If you want to bring gossip to me, bring gossip about the work. That all the work is not being done. Then I can go into it. But you can't tell me this person said this person said that. I don't want to condone that. I will expose you.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
And I'll be
So
very frank with that.
that's good, Willie. Can we recognize we 1 hour into the show now? We're gonna come back to our senior brother to continue the conversation with him. To our viewers, we are in conversation with our senior brother, Mr. Steven Zodakova Jr. He is the current administrator at Phoebe Hospital, and we are just picking his brain today, just kind of asking him questions about things around Phoebe and his plans to reform Phoebe. So, Willie, can we go ahead and recognize our viewers and then come back to continue the conversation with our senior brother?
Yeah, sure. So we have our brother, the Reverend Smo Pew Kokolo. He's there in Tudota. He's following from Tudota compound. The Reverend Iwe Sakodo is also following. Um, we have our sister Catherine Gagu. She celebrated her birthday a few weeks ago. We want to say happy belated birthday as well. Sis Nippy G. I know if we only have one viewer today, Nippy G will be here because she
I know.
is a former staff member of Phoebe Hospital. Nippy, you need to go back and
Yeah.
I remember in
Okay.
2021 we're there, and Nipe came with the team, from the eye team from Phoebe. They were, performing some, eye exam at St. Luke's there in Phoebe. So Nipe want to say thank you again, you and the work that you guys did at Phoebe. Okay, happy Sunday to you, Reverend. Gego Manyango want to say thank you.
Hey, Gau.
Gao.
About
Abba Summer is following. We want to say, welcome to Mother Vidiga Beer. Sis Kabawu, Manawu, we want to say welcome.
Cuba. It's Cuba,
Cuba.
Manaus.
Cuba.
Kuba
I
Manawu.
mean, yeah.
Thank you so
Somebody
much.
Toyota.
The better meaning and get it do you have to.
No,
Other teachers of better name.
I just trying to pick you.
My dear sister there with them, my dear sister from Tututa.
Yeah, from
Yeah.
Toyota, but whenever she goes to Monrovia, she worship as a mafia. But anyway,
Come on. Come
but
on.
Larry Malin, he said, I
Larry.
trust your ability.
That's a Larry. That's another brother from Tututa.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean he's not one of the preaching point from St. Matthew. Sis Marlon Molba, she's right here. And you know what's the name? But Kokolo was at the choir in St. Matthew.
You see what you see what he wrote there?
He just went there. But Bex, BK Bex, Sabo, sister. BK is watching, Sabo.
No, when they want to bring politics here, please go back to the comment. Read the main comment. Don't bring politics here.
We're going to say we are here in Total with innovation. And
things will get better.
Yeah,
Yeah, things will get better. Says BK is there. We want to say
Becky from Hatra. Okay.
Becky. But F. Ibrahim Tamba is Banazo, he's the chairperson. The veteran pastor, the Reverend J. Louis Mackey from CB1.
John Luigi Mackey.
Lira Solonkola Molva. Lira want to say thank you. Lira says that he trusts your ability. Man, for me, it's not surprising. Oh, Sis Nippy, thank you. I know you're following there. Benson Sumo Max is from Bong County. Prom FM compound. Okay, we need to get in touch with you, Brother Benson. So we need to talk. Brother Vilia Jaliba. Thank you. He's watching from Zorza. I left two comments behind. Senior brother, one of them, I think the person is also offering some support. That's your Pekin, senior brother.
Cool.
Emmanuel. Yeah. Senior brother, we have one of our followers. Yeah. We have one of our followers, and we always ask for our
You jumped this guy.
We'll get to that. No. I'll get to that guy. Yeah. So if you can
Smooth. Okay, that's it. Okay. Many smooth. I'm a Phoebe compound.
Yeah.
That's right. So Phoebe. All right. So this coming here, and also this guy is offering some services. So I thought to leave this last. He said, "Congratulations, Lutheran Church in Liberia needs a leader that is focused, and I personally believe that you have the experience. Please don't joke with the financial matter. You need to stand firm if you want to see Phoebe rise up. I'm a born and baptized Lutheran. Yes,
For Yakwa.
born Lutheran, baptized Lutheran from
Salai,
Yokwa,
Salai district.
Alaye district. All right, this is the part that got me interested, see, brother. I'm trained in the following areas: trained in account and audit, QuickBooks, or chart of accounts, SAP operator, warehousing, logistics. So in case you need my service, please contact me. So this kind of guy, we need to contact him. His name is Peter Morris, but he didn't put
Yep.
all his number there. So Peter, if you are still following us, please you see the number on the screen. You can text your number to one of these two numbers, and we can get it to Brother Cover 404-446-5051 763-439-0458. So if you send that number, we will get your number to Brother Cover. He needs your help. Every Lutheran. So please, thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
brother. Um, and
What
we have someone here. Oh, he gave his number. I think he's the same person. Ben, no, okay, this Benson Mark. I'm a journalist working Prime FM. All right, brother Benson Mark, thank you so much. We're gonna get in touch with you. He's there with Prime FM. So you want to
Premium
say
FM?
thank you to everyone. Please call
Thank
in
you.
to participate and call in to ask your questions.
Thank you, Willie. Thank you to everyone. Thank you to our viewers. You can call in on the numbers on the screen if you want to ask questions or participate on the show. We're gonna continue the round of conversation with our CM brother.
Elijah, I don't want to get in trouble. Elijah, I don't want to get in trouble. I have to share this person. The Steven sister here. I got to share this person. Brother, Sister Cotto Double Sana. Dr. Cotto Double Sana. I have to share her. Yeah, I don't want to get in trouble.
All right. Uh, all right. Thank you for doing that, Willie. We appreciate our viewers, and we always, look forward to them joining the show every Sunday. So as we continue the round of questioning, this time will just be one question, and then we would then wrap up with our guest. We know it's pretty much late in Liberia. He needs to go to bed and get ready for tomorrow's activities. CM brother, I want to pick your brain about service delivery at Phoebe and your budget, because these are two very important things. All of the things that you talk about, we want to have an effective service delivery system, and couple may mention about customer service. So I want to understand from your perspective, your budget this year, what are the plans around formulating policy or training employees to gear towards effective service delivery, and that income is comprised of ambulance system, medication, and everything else. I just want you to walk us through that, how you guys are thinking in that direction.
Okay, the Phoebe Hospital and School of Nursing for that is Phoebe Hospital gets allotment from the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning. That allotment, this budget year, everyone is saying Phoebe has 2 million. Yes, out of that 2 million, 800,000 is for the President's Special Initiative Project, and the hospital had to decide on that. The rest of that money is basically in goods and services. The other one is basically salaries, which is recurring costs. That first amount that I call of 800,000, we need to identify a priority project that the government will pay for. The cash is not coming to Phoebe Hospital. You identify a project, and then the government, through the PPCC, will pay vendor for whatever you identify. So In my absence, I wasn't here when that was done. The hospital prioritized the entry from the main road to the hospital compound during rainy season time is damaged. There's no way people go there. So that was prioritized as one of the most important project on the PSIP. So there was a design that was provided by the engineering firm, and the quotation and BOK was submitted, and that took over from the main junction to the hospital by the way of the emergency around the hospital. So that is considered that will control the waterways during rainy season. The second was a renovation of the OPD. The OPD has an asbestos zinc, which is not healthy. It's a health hazard. Asbestos is not good. It's cancerous. I mean, so that roof is being considered de-roofed and then redone. So that's the second project on the PSRP. The third one is a sewer system. We have a quotation, we work with the liaison with public works. These documentation are here for consideration on the PSRP. But for now, the priority is that road and OPD. The rest of the funding from the Ministry of Finance or from the government library is basically goods and services. For the drugs and supply, as I said, goods and services, there are allocation in that budget that goes towards drugs and medical supplies. The Ministry of Health also supply what we call community drug revolving fund. That one is that they bring the drug to the facility at a minimum cost to patients. And these drugs are sold and the money is revolved. In other words, it's used to do more procurement. So it's like revolving funds. So that aspect, and that's a restricted amount. The hospital is not allowed to use that money for its operation. So all the drugs that comes under the community drug revolving fund through the pharmacies, those drugs that are paid for by patient at a reduced cost is being bought and sent back. So it's being replenished, and then they pay and they bring another set. So it's revolving to keep the facility with drug, constantly supply with drug medical supplies. The other ones like consumables for laboratory and other use, the government provide funding as a subsidy to Phebe as a support of Phebe for those. They are also support for field and civil work. Take for example, the work that we partnership with other people are helping. The Evangelical Lutheran Church in America is supporting the community health outreach program. So that program is supported by ELCA. So when they are funding for it, they go in and feed the provide community health service. So how do we leverage our support? We say let's integrate our service provision. For example, if the eye clinic is going to Swakoko, why don't they merge with the community health team to go and give a complete integrated service? While the eye people are busy, you are doing a screening for pregnant women and seeing under 5 children. So move the community with an integrated service. That's the approach we've come with. Because if the eye clinic go to see Swakoko today, then the community health go there tomorrow, that's a waste of resources. You can use one stone to kill 2 birds or 3 birds. That's the approach we've come with, and that's what we're doing. So for services, that's how it is when it comes to funding from the Ministry of Finance for support to Phoebe Hospital.
Just to make a quick follow up on my question, you may mention about the service delivery and the budget allotment to different programs that you run in the hospital. Are there plans about the expansion of Phoebe Hospital? Because you talk about special project, you got this money from the presidential special project for that you can identify project, you identify a few of them. But are there plans for expansion of Phoebe Hospital? Because we know since that hospital was built the way it is, we have not had any expansion. Are there plans? And then also you have this scalper that used to be the church, St. Luke's, but now I guess you guys are not using that chapel anymore, but it stay attached to the hospital. So what are plans of expansion of that institution?
For the chapel is being used for devotion every morning. That little sanctuary that I use for services is presently being used for devotion. So we have devotion 8 o'clock every morning in that small space you call the chapel. St. Louis are using the OPD. They've moved to a bigger space. So OPD is not a church, it's not a worship place anymore. It's for providing all patient services. So, but Phoebe expansion is our dream and aspiration, but it's cost intensive. While the medical director and I was talking, in fact, she mentioned in executive council meeting just the last 2 days, she was asked by the BA, is there any plan for myself for expansion of Phoebe? And she said, if I have my own way, I would say yes. Elevate the building, make use of the airspace. Down you can use the down part for restaurant, for cafeteria, conference room, and use the upper part for wards or for clinical services provision. And will help because Phoebe is actually on a low lane. And that what caused the sewer problem. We have an issue with the sewer system at Phoebe now. So it's a big dream. So if you don't dream big, I mean, that's a bigger dream for the Lutheran Church because the Lutheran Church does not have the funding to build a new facility. I can tell you for sure. And if government will come to build that facility, it means it's going to be a government-run institution. Where does the church stand? So these are things we can consider in the long run as long-range plan for the expansion of Phoebe. There's a need to expand Phoebe because the Phoebe you knew before is not what it is now.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Thank you, Sam, brother. Dr. Toto.
Yep, I like the last part of this embassy dream big. Uh, that's a very positive impact. If I listen to you, I can feel the passion in your voice. It shows it shows that you are really up to a good start, and we can see success at Phoebe Hospital. If only all the dream like you talk about, the big dream can be put to reality. Uh, in line with the same budget. Uh, I don't know. You talk about the structural enrichment of Phoebe Hospital that with the government Liberia pumping in more money in it than the Lutherans, the Methodists, and the Episcopalians. In that budget, you, you traveling enrichment, travel, like overseas. Do you have something in it like you have the opportunity to travel abroad to seek support for Phoebe Hospital? You talk about infrastructure development I'm talking about. Let me just give you a little clue. Uh, just 2 Sunday ago, my church here, the Zion Lutheran Church, we hosted the medical director from one of the Lutheran churches in Tanzania. There were most of our funding go to the church in Tanzania. One of the medical directors were here to seek support for the Lutheran hospital that in Orleans Village that there. He was speaking the needs on some of the needs that the hospital face and some of the things that they need. And people are giving some donations. So that's the reason why I ask that question. If at all Phoebe you have any kind of traveling budget for international trip to seek support for Phoebe Hospital.
And for the budgetary support for Phoebe, we do not have Akim. I didn't see that in place, and I was surprised that you don't have anything for lobbying or for resource mobilization. But however, we do accept invitation from partners, and most of the invitation are covered. The travel cost is covered by those partners, from what I've seen. But for now, for the hospital to send you out for the lobby, I don't see that in the budget, and that would make it kind of a streamline, so you don't really see it. So that's why maybe in the next fiscal year when we're planning, because we will be coming off a budget committee that will be developing a budget for FIBA 2027. So and that wasn't existing here. So those are things that we have put in place, that the budget will not be done by just an individual, it will be done by a team.
Okay.
So we do a budget for the
So
team
do
and
the
make sure we
budget.
capture every aspect.
It is already, you know.
So I
And
mean,
also,
one man can do budget. It's unfortunate.
yeah,
You
Well, like,
let
one
that
person used to do it.
travel, you
my
travel,
dear.
you know, they did travel and reach there.
We'll have a team doing the budget. We'll sit down right in the administration office. We spend weeks and now weeks.
Yeah.
We call all department. Come,
Department has
representative,
submit a
come.
preach for them.
Come, some of your budget, let's go through it. We go and project in the office and work. Think of all living in the company will work together. Come up with a comprehensive budget that we can defend. That if we ask the accountant how your budget is there, he knows exactly what it is. If he ask the medical director, he'll be able to explain it. If he ask me, I will explain it. Don't ask me, I say, oh, I don't know. No, that's unfair to the institution. No, you don't do that in the workplace.
So see, also
There's going to be an open system.
yeah. Just a follow up also too. As an administrator also too. In terms of patient, nurses and doctor relationship. I don't know whether that fall under your preview also too, in terms of the harmonized relationship, because most of the crowd we see is not from Phebe Hospital, in hospital in general. When people go to the hospital, they don't have the funds to pay, they don't treat them. Some of them to let them to be untouched until they provide funds before they be touched. And some of them even die in the process, for no medical attachment to them. And these have been some of the crowd in Liberia. So I know Phoebe Hospital have been accused of sexual as before too. So is that as administrator, is it part of your purview to have patient doctor relationship to be harmonized?
And that's one main reason I say I gave a credit and I recognize the effort of the Trauma Healing Reconciliation Program of the Lutheran Church in Liberia, Lutheran World Federation World Service, which I'm a product of. So with that background, we try to engage the doctors. In fact, I have a meeting with the nurses this week. So nurses this week and the doctors this week. So I got 3 meetings this week: the housekeeper, the nurses, and the doctors. Then the last will be the maintenance team. So we are all on par and speaking the same language. For us, this is the health facility, so a more patient center. So how do we build and maintain a relationship where when patient leave from here today, they can come back? They can recommend people for treatment at Phoebe Hospital. It's by ensuring that that relationship is cordial. And how do we get cordial? It's first creating an enabling environment where healthcare provider and patients can be able to have conversation. When it comes to fee for service, Phoebe is a fee for service facility. People pay for the services. There are instances where people come, they don't have the money to pay. So the chaplain of the hospital sometimes sounds on their behalf. And he puts it here on the chopping board that, oh, I send for the person who will pay by. Sometimes they don't come back. He has to bear the cost. The government of Liberia has requested free service for inmates and vulnerable population, especially what we call the Zogos. Those people, because the government provide all services and subsidy, when they ask you to provide free service to people, you can't deny it. So those people come for services and they are treated free of charge, no cost, because whatever subsidy they come from government, it's government support. The government gave you money, say, oh, treat people free. You can't deny them. So we provide our service. So the fee for service are Phoebe, and there are some consideration of people who come without full payment. They do make payments. If there are challenges, they still do challenges and see how they can help. We are all human beings. Like all of our high wealth, she just gave birth. He couldn't pay all the money. And in all fairness, if your wife is pregnant, you know she carried that belly for 9 months. 9 months. 9 months. In all fairness, were you not prepared that you're going to give birth? So you couldn't prepare yourself to pay hospital bill for that woman? I will not pay that money for that person if I had it. It's like it's my choice, I do. Because you impregnate a woman, you should be able to prepare her for up to term. If I impregnate a woman for 9 months, you go to the hospital, she's gonna give birth. I should be prepared to show the responsibility when you go to give birth. Now when she's giving birth and you're looking around for money to free her from the hospital, that's unfair. To the woman who you impregnate. So those education should be provided at the antenatal. I'm not a clinician, but I've worked in a healthcare setting. So we now tell the midwife, provide information to these women when they come for their first ANC visit. Now the government saying 10 ANC visit. So every morning you come to hospital, tell your husband to prepare, tell your husband or your spouse to prepare. When you come here, you need these things. Give them the information and see what happens. The Bible says it, for a lack of information, the people perish.
Yeah.
So give them the information that you will have responsibility when your wife comes to give birth. Prepare yourself within 9 months.
That's right. Couple. That I don't know you no more follow up, right?
Yeah, done. Yeah, done.
Okay, couple.
Okay, thank you so much, Sim brother.
It's
You
my
talked about the
pleasure.
president special project. Does the
Mhm.
president's project has any seating? The same, like for example, the pathway you people took, the entry. Does it have any seating? To say there's only
The
five hundred
hospital
thousand per project?
the hospital presented a budget of almost close to one, I think 1 million, 1 point something million, but it was cut down to 800,000 for the PSRP.
Oh,
So
1,800,000.
based on your need, and you should be able to justify why you want that money. So
but
if you're lucky, it give you 500,000, you work with that. So you identify a priority based on what is allocated for you. So they allocated 800,000 for the hospital. The hospital should be in a position to strategize and prioritize the basic that will be impactful. And that's the language I was speaking, that I come from that background. Any project the hospital decides to do, it should be impactful. What's the impact to the population? It should be impactful. It should be achievable. My
so
language
do,
is, once it's impactful, yes, I'll go for it.
okay, so do you think, a follow up? Do you think that particular selection of that project, which has to do with the front way to the hospital, it will really impactful?
If it's impactful,
Yeah.
that
Are you
that
spending
decision
eight
was
hundred
that
thousand?
decision was made before I came in. And looking at it, and the explanation is that during rainy season, that portion to come to the hospital is terrible indeed. You can't even find a way through when it rain heavily. That whole from where the gate is to where the county health team is, that place, it is the worst place ever. And I decided to make some background check, do some background check, and with the county health team, and everybody spoke with that place when it rain. So if you got emergency, you can't easily pass through there easily. So I mean, and I see that it's a water, and so I didn't resist that. I didn't argue it to change the whole thing because we had to submit that plan to PBCC, and then the next one was the OPD, and that OPD is fair enough. That place has to be clean
Yeah, what is
and
it?
painted. That place D roof and painted. Let this place represent a hospital. And some of the initiative from the list subsidies that are coming from the government, the allotment. I went to pediatric emergency. In a healthcare setting, children walk, we got kids. Every place should be child friendly. So I've instructed that place be painted, and we'll find an artist that will do drawings that will be
What
attractive
boy?
to
Yeah.
children. Attractive to children, that when children see these things, it can be a therapy to their illness. It can, in fact, children love play. Play and children can divorce it. When you see those drawings on the wall, and you see them, and the child is sick, and they see those drawings, they get attracted and say, oh no. When that child was staying in the hospital for 2, 3, 4 days, After 1 day, you see that child running around and say, oh yes. And that's a therapy. That's how hospital should be. Especially a peace wing. And that's my next plan. How do we develop the pediatric component of Phoebe? The neonatal intensive care unit, we call it in NICU, and a pediatric component. OB is being considered by Liberia Nurses Association in Dallas, Texas. But the pediatric component is I come from a child-centered organization, so child health is it keep ringing bell in my ear, right? And that's a generation for us. So let's manage that population.
Thank you,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Elijah.
Hey, my brother Woody. Woody?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sir, I want to say again, thank you. That Brother Toto asked that people be giving free service. If they cannot afford. I think we all should be able to afford ones, especially if you have someone impregnated. You have that 9 months. So I think the hospital should continue on that plan to remain firm on that. People should be able to contribute because if we start doing free services, then we're gonna run into a lot of financial problems and the hospital won't move forward. So sometimes, like the Loma man would say, God's over us over. So I'm glad that a Loma man from Zozo, is in charge. So I believe that he will ensure he will ensure that the right thing is
Zozo
done.
feasible, eh?
But Siam, but I want to ask this question. Um, oh, he went out. I think someone is trying to reach out to him. Siam, but I want to ask this question. Since you have taken over Phoebe, what's the relationship? I'm not talking directly of the LCL, but the Phoebe administration with the Association of Liberian Lutherans in the Americas. If you can recall, um, Aliyah made some significant contributions in the past when it comes to healthcare. During the Ebola crisis, Aliyah, at the time, Brother Tutu was vice president. Aliyah sent, I think, two 20-foot container. Brother Tutu, correct me if I'm wrong, either two 20-foot or 40-foot container of medical
Yes.
supplies to Liberia. And also, during the COVID time, Aliyah also made a significant contribution to the LCL. Um, at your end, some people here have connection with some of the hospitals. Okay.
And also,
And I will advise if you can, reach out to Aliyah directly and for us to start having these kind of conversation because some members, like I said, in Aliyah are associated with some of these medical institutions here. Okay. And we believe that some things can happen. The fact that Aliyah is a 501c3 organization and these institutions would like to work with non-for-profit organizations like Aliyah. So if we can start having conversation like that, talking about sanitary material and other stuff like that, I believe Phoebe can stand to benefit, from that. So maybe a task force could be set up, but having an initial conversation with Aliyah, I think it will help as well. So I just wanted to, add that on.
Thank you very much, Willie, for that. I didn't know that. I'm kind of new, so a lot of things I still need to do. And I know Aliyah is a good partner to the Lutheran Church in Liberia because I've been following Aliyah when it comes to supporting the LCL. And so I take that seriously. And I'm so grateful that at least Dr. Toto is here on this as
And
he
he's
has
a board
seen,
member.
and he's a board member. And that's what I'm saying. When he asked for priority, I said these are things. I will be reaching out, or Phoebe will be reaching out to Aliyah for whatever
Phoebe, yeah.
support
Mhm.
they can provide. And I would say one of the main support we need is basically when it comes, I said lining for our beds and sanitary material, especially when it comes to detergent, hospital setting cleaning materials. We got a clue right here, we got a clean towel soap, we got the Dettol. Some of those things can really clean the compost. Yeah, so if you put it in the combo, it may not clean it well as compared to real detergent and multi-purpose that you can use.
But
And
yeah.
those there are those mobs that you can use at water spray, you can use and clean the hospital. I mean, we appreciate most of those stuff, and it would mob bucket those ones. I mean, it will help us. It will help us a lot in
Yeah,
Phoebe.
definitely. If that's that's the reason I asked the question about your traveling budget. Whether you'll be allowed, we make it to travel to the U.S., make it do a speaking engagement to some of the Lutheran churches here, through the support of Aliyah and other Lutheran hospitals here. And I can tell you, the guy that came from Tanzania, he went back home with a whole lot of supply that were given to the hospital in Tanzania. So those are things that we want to be looking up to for Phoebe Hospital also too.
Yeah, we'll have a conversation, in the
we
back
can
end
we can make
regarding
we
that.
can make a presentation anywhere. Once we have an invitation, once the invitation is sent to us, we can see if the operational cost to support such travel. We can try and seek support. If the partner as an invitation cannot afford to afford the cost, we can try to mobilize and see this. We can explore opportunity through our board, through the caucus to help support in ensuring this travel is made for whoever is invited for such mobilization for the hospital. We can explore the opportunity for that.
You know,
Um, thank you, senior brother. And I think we're now living a whole digital world. And I believe if somebody has a contact and they need maybe want to do a presentation to a church, you can also just use Zoom and you can stay right in your
Sure.
office and do a presentation and outline the needs of the hospital and the pill, so that will even save you the whole plane ticket cost of traveling, and people also they will get your message and your appeal. So I think it's the connection that those of us in the diaspora, those are some of the things we should be looking into, how we can connect people to Phoebe and to listen to the leadership there and to outline the needs and stuff like that and see how we can collect some sanitary materials to send to you. So that's very impressive, and I think it has been very wonderful with you on the show today. Just talking through so many things that are happening at the Phoebe hospital, and we are all hopeful that you are a Lutheran, not just a Lutheran, but an educated one as well, who has the experience in leadership, and you are now at Phoebe. I think a lot of people you saw the compliments from most of our viewers, and they believe in your ability. Um, our prayers are with you, and we hope that God will continue to guide you as you lead at Phoebe. So, just in closing, what would be your parting words?
And thank you again. I just want to say thank you very much to MLC for this opportunity. And we remain grateful to God and for the strength and for the confidence that been imposed in us to be able to deliver what we can deliver for the church and the people of Liberia, especially the people of Bong County. My parting statement is that let us try to the best we can do to serve our people. And Phoebe needs the best all that we can have to be able to effectively deliver on our course, especially when it comes to the provision of healthcare. Phoebe stands at a position where it's in central Liberia and it caters to not just one county. Phoebe can be termed as an international institution because people from Guinea, from Cote d'Ivoire come here because of what it stands for. So, in addition to our counties, we provide services across the border. So, we would we need all the support you can give in terms of publicity and material, moral, financial support to Phoebe. And I can assure you that every cent that is sent to Phoebe, every piece of cloth that comes to Phoebe will be used for Phoebe and will be accounted for to the best of our ability. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, senior brother. It was wonderful having you on the show. If you still want to stick around, you can stick around, but we're just going to wrap out here right now. And I will get to my colleagues for the parting statements. Dr. Tudo, we'll start with you.
yeah, thank you. Let me say thank you again to Steve. This is one of the best. To see how he will respond to the question. And like I said, if you see somebody that determined to be successful, you can see him or his Steve. And you can see the passion in his voice in terms of the reform that he want to bring to Phoebe Hospital. The crowd to Phoebe Hospital have been here too long, and that's why we won. Most especially during the dark days of Phoebe Hospital when some of us were advocating for financial support for Phoebe Hospital. And the news we're getting from them are very discouraging. The ELC, the women say, you know what, we're not going to send her down there until we see some reform. And this is the reform I have started on. So I want to say thank you to Steve and congratulations and wish you in all the best, like you afford to make that hospital be successful. We will talk behind the scene and then we'll have some fruitful discussion on how best to move forward in some of the things that you listed. Thank you so much.
Couple. Thank you, Dr. Toto. Couple.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was wonderful. Like Dr. Toto said, we had a good conversation. And I think we heard good things. Yes. So we hope that you come back here and tell us how far we are. Yeah,
100 days deliverable.
a return match. You come back and tell us where are you, where we are when it comes to the goals at Phoebe. Just want to say thank you. When you see serious people, you know it's nothing about and I say I wanna sweet all. No, I know they wanna
Mm,
sweet or not liquor either. So we believe in you. We believe in you and we expect more from you. Um, whatsoever, anything Aliyah comes out of the house to do anything, we all part of Aliyah, we send it back for the person when it comes to Phoebe. So once again, I want to say thank you so much.
oh, man. All right, Willie.
Yeah. Again, Senator, I want to say thank you so much for spending the time with us, your evening. Um, everything that has been said, all of the compliments, it's not surprising to me. It's not surprising to me. So I'm not going to say, your appointment and all of what you are doing there, be surprised. No, I know that you can deliver. So even sleeping, I know you can deliver. And this is the reason why we are going to go all out. And I can assure you that we're going to go all out to work with you at Phoebe Hospital to ensure. Quite quickly, I also here locally I work with a hospital called Wellstar Hospital, and you know, and we're working on this project. And one of the units that they have, they're doing the development. One of the units there that we have is the PET unit. You talk about how beautiful the area is. That unit was, I mean, was carefully crafted. That when you walk in there, you know that like talking about how the kids, love drawing, love coloring. I mean, it was, I mean, particularly selected. All of everything in that unit was handpicked as compared to the rest of the other units. So I can see the passion and see how you have that zeal. So we are going to work along with you. All I want to say is that um, let us work with what we have for now. I know Phoebe needs expansion. Phoebe, the facility, is aged and what have you, but let us develop, what we have. Then we can, then we can expand later because again, like you mentioned, that if we talk about expansion, the Lutheran Church does not have the financial resources, and others may come in and they're gonna take it. We see what's happening now in Lofa. People will just try to encroach, and we don't. The Phoebe, we don't have it for now, but Phoebe should remain Lutheran. Okay, so if anyone who's coming to assist us, let them assist us on our own ground, and we believe that you're going to deliver. And also, while I have the floor, I just want to give a shout out. Also, we need to try to bring him on the show, but from Zozo. I mean, we heard that he's doing a great job there as
Oh
Zozo
yeah,
too.
administrator as well.
Super way.
Brother,
Small way.
yeah. Okay,
Okay.
Brother Sumo Wuye. So these are our people. Okay, these are our people. All right. If something is yours, you will take care of it. If something is not yours, I mean, you don't care how it is
Don't
like. So
misuse it.
yeah, you will misuse it because you don't care. So now that we have our own people where they need to be, we'll go all out, senior brother. You know, it's not gonna be an overnight thing, but we all gonna fight it. And I just wish you all the best.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
My lines are open. My lines are open anytime that
Absolutely,
I get time.
absolutely, absolutely.
Please include a landscape of Phoebe in your assets management recovery while you got it.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Either
The,
couple want
the land
couple want donate
demarcation.
one lawnmower,
Oh,
Yeah. I don't.
that would be fun. Lawnmower and especially washing machine washer in those
pressure
areas.
washer
Okay.
and all. Yeah.
Yep. There you go.
For
So,
laundry.
see, brother, like I said earlier on, we really appreciate you, and I know that when I called you, like you were like, "Yeah, let's do it," and I really appreciate you honoring this. And you're one of those people that we can count on. We know the track record; they're there. We can erase that, and you continue to be our senior brother. You, Dr. Toto, and the rest of the folks out there. We just want to say, we appreciate you so much, and we are wishing you all the best at Phoebe, and we will do our best to keep supporting you from afar, and just reach out if you kind of trying to brainstorm on what you can get from over here and we're here. Reach out and just ask us how we can help in that direction, and we'll try our best to see what we can do. So with that, we want to say have a pleasant night, and Willie, take us home.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much, Sam.